moment to read a passage of scripture to you coming from the book of 1 John chapter 2. And I want to read verses 15 and 16 to you. Again, 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 16. And the word reads, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world." So I want to come to you today with your empowerment challenge, which is this: stop. There is a better way. That's right. Stop. There is a better way. Now, as a reminder and as a recap, I've been talking about in our previous episodes, understanding who we are concerning our soul, which is made up of our mind, our will, and our emotions. And then I touched on our body, understanding that our body is the vessel, it is the container which houses our soul as well as our spirit. But without the spirit, we have our soul and our body, which becomes and can become very carnal minded and very fleshy in nature when we allow that to be the dominating force in who we are and how we make choices and how we make decisions and how we overall live our life. It can become a dangerous thing to just operate out of our soul and out of our flesh from that standpoint, and as well with our body. And so when we talk about the flesh, that is consisting again of our body as well as our soul, the mind, will, and the emotions. And when you think about the flesh, it can become so carnal in nature. You have a tendency to give in into so many things, including lust. And so that's what we're talking about here in 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 16, talking about that lust, the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh and the pride of life. And so what is lust? Well, lust, first of all, is that aspect of needing to have a desire, an intense desire for a thing that's brought about by your emotion. And then that intensity, it transitions or transfers into your body, where you just got to have a thing. You just got to have it right then and there. You got to have it. You can't do without it. You just need it. And so we can become lustful in various ways. Of course, we know that we can become lustful in terms of, from a sexual standpoint, an intimate standpoint. When we see someone, we become, lustful at how they look in terms of their body, their physical appearance. And so we may begin to have lust for a person, a man or a woman. But we can also have a lust for things when it comes to material things. We can have lust for, seeing a nice car that we just got to have. We have lust for, seeing a nice home. We may have lust for things in terms of, clothes and shoes and jewelry. We may have a lust, when it comes to trying to achieve a certain stature in life, in terms of having a status, having a title to our name, position, whether it be in the workplace or in the ministry. We may have a lust for those type of things. And we can have a lust for drama, meaning that we always got to have something going on in our life. And so we always got to stir up something. We always got to have, be the drama queen or be the drama king, where, everybody, knows who we are before we come, because they here they come again, there's always something going on. And so we have a lust for attention, actually. And then, there are people who have a lust when it comes to a lust for certain addictions, when it comes to vices, such as smoking cigarettes and alcohol and drugs. And people have a lust when it comes for a lust for food, having a lust for certain types of food because of the texture of the food, the way it tastes, the way it smells. And we can have a lust for food in that regard as well. And so I want to touch on today, why do we lust after things? Because ultimately it's because there's a void that needs to be filled in our life. There is an emptiness from within us. It's like a black hole, so to speak, that is not filled. And so we're looking for something or someone or some way for that void to be filled. And so I want to touch on that aspect of how our mind, our will, and our emotions, our body, making up our soul, and of course our body, that aspect of who we are, when we combine all that together, we can become so carnal-minded and fleshy in our nature that we're not even seeing the spiritual side of who we are. And so